just go crazy into our sky. Just boosh, wherever you want it to be. You gotta have a couple little dips, little humps. All we're really worried about is what our top edge looks like up here, right? Nothing else matters in the world besides this top line. It must be crisp, right? It separates our sky from our land, this, that, and the other. And it's starting to look a little funky. Why don't we come up here? A little bit bigger. There we go, Joshy. All right, I love it. Just an almighty, enormous mountain. Just because you gotta have it. Sling it down underneath our clouds like that. Whip her down. Right, over here, over there. Little scrapey scrapes, because we don't want it to go too far, and you can literally pick it up and extend your mountain wherever you want to put it, just by literally scraping up the paint, dropping it down in a different section, right? Make your mountain as big as you want. Now, we all know that as soon as we start to touch this mountain, with any bit of pressure from our brush, look what happens. Sucker can slide out as far as it wants to go. Right? How far does your mountain slide? Does it go all the way to the edge? Or, with a little smaller amount of pressure, does it just stay right about here? Right? Up to you what you want it to look like, but I never want to pull it all in the same direction, of course, so let's pull it in a couple different ways. Maybe we'll get this guy to come down here. Right? All based off how we're pulling it. Now we've got this little S-shaped curve. A little Z-shape, more like it. But, who knows? Josh, this is why I'm not a spellman, okay? You never heard of spellman, fireman, policeman, longshoreman, spellman, right? I'm a paintman. I'm a paintman myself. We do a little painting over here, not the spelling or the math. Just the creation, right? Now, you don't even really have to touch every single peak. Maybe these guys came down and they hit, kind of matched up, went off in this other direction, right? Came down, smashed, started coming down this way. That way you've got a bit of 3D-ness to your mountain, no matter what. Some going off this side, some going off that side. If we take this guy, we whip him down over here. Doesn't have to go all the way to the edge. Doesn't have to. All right, come in there like that. Just pulling it, right? Whatever directions that we grab and pull down in versus swiping versus pulling the other direction. Almost looks like you can take a chunk right out of that mountain right there. Oh, how pretty. Now, let's come in, since we've got a bit of pink already mixed into our white right here from our crimson color. Now, look, you don't need a whole lot of crimson, guys. I'm telling you from experience, you don't. Just a little touch. Actually, there's a little bit of blue in there, too. It kind of took over our color. So, let's change it. Let's put a little bit more blue in here. These will be our shadowy bits. And then what we're going to do is grab up a good section of just crimson paint. Put that guy over there, and then we'll mix up our highlights using much more of our crimson and our white versus that blue, right? So you get that pinky color to our highlights, a little bit of blue. This is going to be like a gender reveal painting. Pink or blue? Pink or blue? Are you expecting? Well, maybe we'll decide for you that it's going to be a girl based on this pink, right? Now let's get a little bit of our dark mix, because this brightness, you all right, B? Yeah. Okay. This brightness, I heard a thump. When you hear a thump as a parent, you're like, ooh, I'm waiting for like a cry out, my leg's broken, something. We've had emergencies during the shows before. So, glad you're okay, Pumpkin. What was I saying now before my parent heart just went boom, 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 boom? Gender, thank you, hun. Thank you for listening. So, maybe we'll just reveal that if you're expecting it's going to be a girl versus a boy, right? So we took a little bit of our darkness, we mixed it down into our blue, so it just kind of dulls the color down. We're going to scrape a little of that up, and let's decide. I mean, it seems like all the light would be coming from this direction. So let's put a little bit of our blue back along the edge of our little S-shaped curve down here. Just very lightly touching and letting it roll. You got to go fast, right? It never works really well when you're going slowly. Just for whatever reason, I don't know why, it just doesn't work as well. You can't control that pressure. When you're sitting up here just trying to go so slow, right? It doesn't work. You can't control it. Right? But if you come up here and you go fast and you whip it down and you let it break automatically like that, right? You're going to get a better look just from going a little quicker, right? I never like it to be just such a straight line, so I always like to have it be a little jaggedy. Just right up there. Maybe we get a little kiss of the light on the top. However much you streak down is however much is going to come down, right? You decide. But based off of that little bit of pink and a little bit of blue, whoo, it's looking good. All right, let's come up here. Let's rock with the pinks again. Let's go a little bit off the edge, but just shoot it down. Just pulling it straight down our little cliffs back there. All right, leaving little spaces of dark in between, little gaps, because you can't just have it all exactly the same. Bang, whip it down like that. Very cool. Don't even have to do much else with it. Right? Maybe, I mean just maybe, you could catch like a little bit of light over the edge of our cliff right here. Right? But who knows what it's going to look like till we come back in with our blue and we decide off the back side of this guy just to let it down real light off of the knife and have it come off the edge. Real light touch. Right? It ended up getting covered up by all that blue shadowy snow, which is all good. You could literally take a piece of light and go and literally pop a new section of light wherever you wanted to have it, right? It doesn't all have to, you don't have to be held hostage by it, basically. With our little snow down there, but I want it to get dark as it gets down to the bottom. All the light up here, all the shadows down there. Come in with a little bit of our blue and maybe just a crazy, jagged, like nuts little piece, little action sauce back here. Whip it down. Whip it good. Let it go long streaks and fast, right? That's going to help. It's going to make it better if you're going a little faster, a little crazier, right? Don't all have to just take your time and be all slow. Who wants that? That's no fun. That's no, look at how this mountain's just growing like a volcano. Just crazy. Man, look at all that yellow in there. Ah, it's fantastic. Just fantastic. Maybe we caught a little piece of light off the backside of the ridge, just perhaps. I don't like it being in a straight line though, so let's get rid of that back guy. We'll try it again. Maybe we'll come up a little higher, a little bit lower. A couple little pieces got some light on the edge. That's starting to look good, actually. And we get a little bit of that over here. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. What if we come up like this? Ooh, I need a little bit more white. Up here. Pop, 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 pop. String it down. There we go. I like that. Very cool. You can even every so often take a bit of our original dark mix and go back in and just drop off little teeny tiny bits, super dark paint. Someone at the door? I wish I could look out this window. I need to adjust my curtains so I can look out the window and see if anybody's here. So, very small little bits of the dark, and it'll just go back and create like very deep dark shadows that the sun just couldn't get to. Just couldn't reach in our deepest, darkest of mountains. Bailey, is someone here? Did we get a delivery? Because the dogs are going crazy. Might have to defend the family with just this. Who's there? All right, now, let's take our 2-inch brush. A 2-inch brush just like this, right? We're going to very lightly start to soften all of our details way back off in the distance. Going to soften them down just by very lightly dragging up just the tiniest bit, right? Like, just like you're trying to just touch this sleeping baby just to see if it's alive. You're like, okay, I just want to see him like shudder a little, right? Just the smallest touch, because if you touch it too hard, then you're going to wake up the baby and we're going to have to get back to babysitting and we can't paint anymore, right? Just like this, back in here. Because we came down this way with our knife, so we go up that way with our brush. Same thing over here. We were coming down this way. All right, so we're going to go up in the opposite direction. And all it does is just take away some of those details. Makes it look further away in the distance, right? Now, look at this, guys. That's a freaking cool mountain. I can just see just a whole nother section over here. You got all this darkness, all this stuff everywhere. Oh. Remember, you can purchase this one, paintwithjosh.etsy.com, and it's number 1020. So, no, 1021. I don't even know how many paintings we've done. I think it's 1021. I'm pretty sure. We'll have to double check the store in case it sells, but I'm pretty sure it's 1021. Excellent. Remember, guys, tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwiches? This is looking really neat. I'm liking it. Yeah, 1021. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it. 1021. All right, now we're going to come in here. We're going to make this all sorts of soft around the bottom. And how we do that is we come up and we start tapping it, just the corner of the brush, and we start dragging it outward just a little bit, just kind of making a little bit of misty fogginess. All right, as we tap in with all these little colors underneath, it's going to change the color of our fog. It's going to mess the color of our mountain. You're going to have all this cool little stuff happen. You can come in and make a little cloud out of it. All right, take it from the bottom again, swipe it up, sort of fades it, makes it a little bit foggier. We got this little piece of land off in the distance. Like, what is this? Who knows? It's another section of mountain. It's another piece to bounce a big tree off of in the front, right? You don't have to paint everything, remember. Now, as we were coming down and making our little misty fogginess, all going this way, just like a clock with our mountain, right? So we're coming down here. Now, if I come over to this section, am I going to kind of want to go across the grain like we've been doing this way and continue the same way? Or should I rotate the brush and start tapping it down this way like a clock to then meet up with its little guy? You guys got to let me know, because I forget. I don't know how to do this stuff. You guys are teaching me. Thank you, Wazowski. Is that Mike Wazowski? Remember, guys, if you're watching over on YouTube, give me a thumbs up over there. It helps. It literally does. Just like a clock, we got to rotate, they say. You got to rotate it, Josh. So we'll come over here, and again, just tapping with the corner of the brush, right? Bringing it out, going back, grabbing a little bit more, bringing it out, just like a typewriter. Drag it down, right? That's all you need. This bit down here, we literally mix it up into a cloud, right? Not trying to grab all of our thick bit of our white snow that we didn't touch. No, 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 no. Don't grab that stuff. You want to stay down here in that soft paint. That way you can run your brush along it and it won't do anything. All right, again, swiping up. Same thing from the other side, just to soften the mist into the snow. And just like that, we've got a very cool little floating mountain out there in the fogginess.